So this week focuses on social media and the profound effect that it's had on journalism in the kind of traditional legacy media sphere. So in keeping with this, I thought YouTube would be the perfect place for me to both share this information and for you as prosumers now to consume and start a conversation sort of about what I'm saying. So social media has transformed the way the human species connects. Legacy media was once the only way for us to consume the news of the world, and this system of content is highly filtered by editors, producers, publishers, and what this means is that oftentimes we're not seeing the whole picture, but something that's of course has biases involved, and like may have a hidden agenda sort of thing. So thinking of newspapers and television as media that's monologic, in that there's no back and forth. We see what's in front of us, we read what's in front of us, we watch what's in front of us, or listen on the radio, and we kind of take that at face value. Often, I would say, because oh look, it's the news on TV, it's got to be true, sort of thing. But what we're really seeing is something that's carefully constructed, like a very directed message, oftentimes. And I know that can sound very conspiracy theorist-y sort of thing, but it's the reality of mass media and of the kind of the media space that we're in today. So think of News Corp and that empire that Rupert Murdoch has created as one that's got a lot of control and is a prime example of this monologic sort of media sphere, and the one that is very filtered and very directed. So we saw that with kind of Julia Gillard's prime ministership, in that there was lots of coverage over Rupert Murdoch controlled media outlets that were very critical towards Julia Gillard, of course, because there is a more right-wing agenda in his type of media. So social media has transformed the way that we view and see content as well. What it does is that we can see everything and anything in real time across the globe. It's the new frontline for news, in that there's no longer news crews and stuff that are really getting this information out there. It's people on their phones. It's people posting 140 characters to Twitter, sort of thing, that are the journalists these days. Of course, no accreditation, but they're the ones that are pushing out this news and starting the conversation. So what the experience with social media is that it's not filtered and not it's unadulterated media. We don't, there's no kind of gatekeepers to this media, to this space. There's no editors. It's you, it's a phone, it's your computer, sort of thing. You're doing what you need to do, and you post it out there, and it's there for the world to see. And this is what we see with uprisings and stuff. Something I'll cover in a blog post with the Arab Spring and things like that. It's very much sharing around information and posting it out into the world. It gains traction when, of course, more and more people post, and we see that as being kind of the real message from news. But although this is unfiltered media and unregulated media, of course there are some issues involved, some problems that we do see, in that there are hoaxes and stuff like that, and because there's no centralization to it, there's misinformation often, in that people report just rumors rather than clear facts. And I guess you see that a lot with celebrity news, tabloid type stuff across social media, that they pick up on something that's not related and they kind of just push that out there, sort of thing. And so I guess mass media gives a shallow stream of information, which is a bit ironic with the kind of the mass media and the shallow stream, in that there's all this information out there, but we're only getting a very targeted and a small amount of it that's controlled by the higher up sort of thing. Whereas social media, we're seeing a tsunami. So everyone who's in that situation sort of thing is throwing information out there into the, I guess, everywhere. And we're being hit with all this information. And I guess it's your job as a prosumer to, read and be critical of the information, of course, but to interact with it as well. So we're no longer just sitting consuming, and of course I've put a picture up on the top of the blog post of a great sculpture underwater of a guy just on his couch, and I guess that really, to me, it symbolizes that just sitting, watching and taking in, rather than being like an active member of the media community and an active citizen, in that you're just sitting there consuming. There's no being critical of the media, and there's no kind of finding out for yourself, furthering your knowledge sort of thing. So yeah, of course we have being prosumers, we have that opportunity to actively engage with what's being distributed, and I think it's a great tool, and one that, for the world, it's incredible. It's not called the information age for nothing. So thank you very much, guys. Of course, I'll put a link to the blog post down in the description box. Thank you very much.